Now comes the tanking side of it. And the headline is basically Ross was exonerated. But was he really exonerated? Let's look at what actually was found. Now, this is what the NFL led with as the first item because this is important to the NFL to have this out there, to have no one think that there was any effort to lose games. Item 1, the Dolphins did not intentionally lose games during the 2019 season, nor did anyone at the club, including Mr. Ross, instruct Coach Flores to do so. No witness contended otherwise. The Dolphins competed hard to win every game, including at the end of the season when they beat Cincinnati and New England, despite worsening Miami's position in the 2020 draft. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But, item 2, on a number of occasions during the 2019 season, Mr. Ross expressed his belief that the Dolphins' position in the upcoming 2020 draft should take priority over the team's win-loss record. These comments were made most frequently to team president and CEO Tom Garfinkel, but were also made to general manager Chris Greer, senior VP Brandon Shore, and Coach Flores. These comments, which Coach Flores took to be suggestions that he lose games, troubled Coach Flores and led him to express his concerns in writing to senior club executives, each of whom assured Coach Flores that everyone, including Mr. Ross, supported him in building a winning culture in Miami. After this, Mr. Ross made no such comments to Coach Flores. Now, look, here's the reality. And as it relates to the offer of $100,000 to lose games, the league found differing recollections about the wording, the timing, and the context. However phrased, such a comment was not intended to be taken as a serious offer, nor was the subject pursued in any respect by Mr. Ross or anyone else at the club. Yeah, because Flores said no. If Flores had said yes, it would have been different. See, Flores saved Ross's ass here. Ross continues to be the owner of the Dolphins because Flores did the right thing, and he was commended by the commissioner for doing the right thing. But Flores also signed his own pink slip by doing the right thing because that was the moment that Ross realized, I can't trust this guy because he's not doing what I want to do, and I'm the owner of the team. I'm the guy with the big yacht. I'm the guy with the billions of dollars. I'm the guy that gets what I want, and I want better draft position next year. I want Joe Burrow. So I don't know how they didn't find a violation here. At a minimum, it's attempted tanking. If you shoot a gun at somebody, meaning to kill them, and you miss, you're not innocent. You're guilty of attempted murder. Stephen Ross is guilty of attempted tanking. But the NFL, they had to give him a pass on this for 2 reasons. One, finding him guilty of this would have made Brian Flores' lawsuit stronger, much stronger. Because Brian Flores claims one of the reasons he was fired is Ross soured on him because Flores refused to go along with the tanking. But also, in an era of legalized gambling, oh boy, if you admit, if you acknowledge, if you punish a team for trying to lose games directly or indirectly, either specific games or big picture, hey, we just got to take our lumps and we're going to end up with a better draft position, it goes to the integrity of the game. It goes to the integrity of gambling on the games. And you got to worry about Congress. You got to worry about the creation of an agency that will be up your butt all the time. And you got to worry about prosecution. That's why the league found no violation here. The league twisted itself into a pretzel to find no violation. There was a violation. And Stephen Ross should have been punished for it. And his statement is laughable. We have the statement. I think it's going to come up on the screen here in a second, and we can take a look at what he said. The independent investigation cleared our organization on any issues relating to tanking and all of Brian Flores' other allegations. Now, that part's just false because Flores alleged that he was pressured to tamper with a high-profile quarterback, which was Tom Brady. So that allegation was validated by this tampering investigation. As I've said all along, Ross added these allegations were false, malicious, and defamatory, and this issue is now put to rest. With regards to tampering, I strongly disagree with the conclusions and the punishment. However, I will accept the outcome because the most important thing is that there will be no distractions for our team as we begin an exciting and winning season. I will not allow anything to get in the way of that. Well, here's one thing that got in the way of it. He's going forward with Plan B as his head coach and quarterback. He wanted Peyton and Brady. He's got Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa. That's already a distraction. We now know that these weren't the best options that Stephen Ross wanted. He wanted better. He tried to get better, and it blew up in his face. And it all fell apart when Flores filed his lawsuit. So Flores is the hero here. in a variety of ways. Without Flores, it never comes to light. But without Flores doing the right thing, now see, that's the problem. Because Flores resisted, Flores saved Ross from possibly losing his team. However, we don't know about any of it unless Flores blows the whistle. And it makes you wonder how many occasions there have been where the coach just goes along to get along, to stay in the good graces. Lovie Smith with the Bucs. Sorry, it's true. He may get mad about it. 2014, they take out half the starters going into the second half of a game against the Saints. Sean Payton was on set with us at the Super Bowl talking about how he usually gets information from people up in the booth saying, so-and-so's out and someone else is in, so-and-so and out. It's like everybody was out. All new guys are coming in. He's like, what the hell's going on here? They wanted to get the first pick in the 2015 draft, so they tanked. And not Stephen Ross, but Lovie Smith went along with it. In this case, Flores didn't go along with it, and if he had, it would have been worse. And Flores blew the whistle on it, and he wouldn't have blown the whistle on it if he had gone along with it. That's why I think they should have found something. It's bad enough that Ross was talking about it. I mean, come on. When you are a multi-billionaire owner of an NFL team and you're merely talking about it, what are you doing? You're giving instructions. Who will rid me of this meddlesome priest? Hi, Miles. That's what you're doing. One of the privileges of being that rich is you never have to give a direct order. The people who work for you and who value the ability to continue to work for you will get the message without being given an express instruction. Brian Flores also issued a statement. We posted it at PFT. Let's see if I can find it here. He's disappointed that the investigation minimized Stephen Ross's comments, and there's good reason for that. He should be. Because he tried to tank. It was attempted tanking. I am thankful that the NFL's investigator found my allegations against Stephen Ross are true, Flores said. At the same time, I'm disappointed to learn the investigator minimized Mr. Ross's offers and pressure to tank games, especially when I wrote and submitted a letter at the time to Dolphins executives documenting my serious concerns regarding this subject at the time, which the investigator has in her possession. While the investigator found that the Dolphins had engaged in impermissible tampering of unprecedented scope and severity, Mr. Ross will avoid any meaningful consequence. There is nothing more important when it comes to the game of football itself than the integrity of the game. When the integrity of the game is called into question, fans suffer and football suffers and gamblers suffer. They had no choice. They got him on tampering because they had to get him on something. They weren't going to get him on tanking because that would have created a mess for everyone. And I think once they realized the ramifications, because at first my understanding was, look, this is it for Ross. This is it. This is real. He's done. I think he was saved by the fact that it's going to hurt a lot more people than just him if they had found that he had done what Brian Flores accused him of doing. And remember this, the litigation goes forward, the Flores litigation. He'll tell his story. It's still an issue. It's not over just because the NFL has decided to find no violation, even though it should have found a violation.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.